Good morning, people of God. Prayer to having a blessed and joyful morning. I just want to share something really quick from Proverbs 3. And it says, trust in the Lord with all thy heart, and lean not to thy own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Be not wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and depart from evil. So basically, what I want to get at with this part is we can't, the Bible talks about how our hearts are deceitful and desperately wicked. Who can know it? You know, the Bible also talks about, that we shouldn't put our confidence in man, but in God, and that we shouldn't put our confidence in man's wisdom, but in the Lord's wisdom. God says that my ways are higher than our ways. His ways are higher than ours and whatnot. And the reason being that, we can't lean into our own understanding nor our own wisdom is because our understanding and our wisdom isn't like God's. He has an infinite understanding and wisdom. And then our understanding sometimes it can seem good, but it ain't always right, And then like our understanding and wisdom is up and down. It consistent. Because you gotta understand though, even as a believer, the Bible says that we all fall short of the glory. Sometimes we mess up, but God don't mess up. That's why we can't lean into something that's not guaranteed. And God wants us to lean into him who is guaranteed. Take it for example like this. If your dad tells you to stop running with a group of people because he see that they're trouble, but then you go and still keep running with them, and then y'all get caught up and go to jail, you disobeyed, and now you brought, punishment, you brought judgment on your own self because you wouldn't listen, because you thought you knew better. You felt like you was being held down, all because somebody was trying to teach you something right that you didn't want to hear. But let's say that you did listen though at this time. Let's say your dad tell you don't run with them, they need trouble, and you listen, and then the next day you see they went to jail. Even though you didn't fully understand what your dad meant or what he saw, it's because you trusted. You leaned on his understanding and not your own. And now you're not in jail, you free. And that's what God wants us to do with him. Even though you don't understand everything that I'm telling you, will you trust me enough to listen to me? Will you trust me enough to believe in the words that I'm giving you? In Matthew 4, he said, we shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of God. We can't blame God for the stuff that we bring on ourselves because we're being disobedient or because we want to fulfill the lust of our flesh. We bring trouble on our own lives when we keep disobeying the person that's trying to keep us out of that trouble. God can see what's coming. That's why he's telling you, avoid it. The Bible even talks about that how the wise, they see the trouble and they hide themselves, but the simple, or the foolish, they don't, and they get caught up in the trouble. They don't see it, or if they do, they just ignore it and they get caught up. A lot of times that's why we got to trust in God's wisdom and not our own, because what might not look that harmful, what might not look harmful could be something very deadly. So we got to learn to lean on God, trust in him. He knows what he's talking about. He's the creator. He is God. His word is truth and whatnot. So lean into his understanding. Acknowledge him in all your ways. Don't lean into your own, because, our minds, we are fickle people. We can be up and down like a seesaw. So you can't put trust and confidence in your flesh. You gotta be in God. Love y'all.